morning after Morgan gets voted out, and I am still pretty livid. This entire time, Corey was in an alliance with myself, Morgan, Rob. Beginning of the merge, it was Ian, and then after Ian got voted out, we pulled in Phil, and we were all going to vote Frank. Should have been as easy as that. But no. Corey decides to just spill the beans to Frank for who knows why. And they take out Morgan.
The last time we talked about how we were playing the specialists on this side and that they just basically, they gave up Annabelle on a silver platter to create trust within Nakota. This has been one big, long con that we have been playing on them since before the merge to get them to trust us. And we took out Morgan. Just like that. Now, Rob is heartbroken about it because I left him out of the vote, which that does kind of blow. It sucks because I do care about this guy a lot. Rob is a really good guy, but we just couldn't we couldn't be sure whether he wouldn't run to Morgan and tell her, and then she would tell Phil to play the idol on her instead.
And we didn't need the vote at the end of the day. With being at 9, an alliance of 5 is more realistic than.
Well, and Frank used his steal a vote. Frank, you used your steal a vote just to get it out of your pocket. I mean, we had the 5 votes.
Everyone knew about the advantage as well, so it kind of.
Right. In fact, what did you say? What did you say at Tribal? You used the steal a vote, and it actually was beautiful because he stole it from Phil, who then played his idol on himself. So what did you say to Phil as you were taking his idol away, or his vote away?
I said that orphans aren't allowed to vote. We don't trust orphans with votes.
You said adopted children are not to be trusted with their vote.
Philip is the biggest threat in this game right now. Hands down, he's got a mind that works like not a lot of people. He can solve these idols and these clues so fast.
He's picking these things apart like lunch.
All right, guys, Ryan sent out a message to the entire tribe during football. Who does that? But I knew it was a clue to a hidden immunity idol, and I jumped on it, missing my game, right? Because I knew I needed this. So I got to work, and I must have submitted like 100 responses, 100 answers. No joke. Ryan's probably annoyed with me. But it was like hours later that I was sitting just looking at the words, and it just came to me. So here's all the words that were spelled incorrectly. I wrote them correctly and then looked at the skip days, skipped over those words, circled the rest, and here you are safe. I wanted a freaking idol in this game so damn bad. And I mean, I hate to sound greedy, but I would really like another one too. But yeah, I feel super cool.
For today's challenge, you are going to be throwing 1 suit of cards into 13 solo cups. After each round, you will remove the solo cups that have a card landed in them. First person to land their entire suit of cards in the 13 solo cups wins immunity and guarantees themselves a 1 in 7 chance of winning this game. For immunity, survivors ready. Round 1, you can begin throwing your 13 cards. Round 2, you can now begin tossing your cards. Round 3, you can begin tossing your cards. Jeremy sinks 1.
Millie, stop it. God.
Carrie has a dog interfering with the challenge for her.
Oh shit.
I just keep like teetering on the edge, really pissing me off.
Frank's still tossing. Rob's still tossing.
Oh my god!
Oh man, that's awkward. I didn't grab all my cards last time. Oh, I robbed myself.
Alright, it looks like everyone's done tossing. Go remove your solo cups. Logan has 8 cups remaining. Rob has 7 cups remaining. Denny has 9. Corey has 9. Carrie with 10.
Carrie, you're killing it.
I know, can you believe it? Shoot.
Jeremy with 10. Right now, Rob's in the lead with this challenge.
I'm coming for you, Rob.
Round 4, you can begin tossing.
Phil has 5. I have.
With 5, Rob with 6, Denny with 7, Carrie with 9, Logan with 7,
No?
Frank with 7, and Jeremy
Oh yeah, I was a password.
with 9.
Round 5, you may now begin tossing. Round 6, you can begin tossing.
All right, we got Logan with 6, Frank with 3, Bill with 3, Rob with 4, Jeremy with 8, Carrie with 9, Corey with 4, and Denny with 5.
Start of round 6, you can begin tossing. Round 7, begin tossing. Frank misses on his opportunity in that round. All right, go remove your solo cups. Phil, Rob, Denny have 3 cups. Frank still has 1. Corey has 3. Everyone else has a lot. Begin tossing. Begin tossing. Phil lands 1.
Finish, got it.
Phil wins immunity.
Let's go.
Let me see him, Phil.
Nice job.
Yep.
Nice job, Phil.
Nice job, Phil.
Great job, Phil. That was a good one.
Phil, safe from the vote tomorrow night. Everyone
Good job,
else
Phil.
here is vulnerable at the next
Good job,
tribal
Phil.
council.
I'm still in the game. And I go on to win immunity. So I get to use this little thing as my necklace. Gotta have an immunity necklace, right? But hey, at least I won an immunity challenge. That's one thing that I really wanted to do in the game. I mean, I wanted to find an idol, and I wanted to win an immunity challenge. All right, well, I got those 2. But I do want to win the game still. I don't know how I'm going to do it now at this point, because it seems like Jeremy's going to get sent up the river, unless maybe it's Rob. But that ain't going to be good. I mean, maybe if one of us can find an idol and we can sniff out who they're voting for, because they can't split it. A split vote ain't going to work for them. I'm just looking out for me now. I'm numero uno, number 1, solo by myself, me, myself, and I, however you want to put it. I'm by myself. So I'm going to find an idol, and I'm going to win 5 more immunity challenges, and I'm going to win whatever, the fire challenge, cup challenge. I'm going to do what I have to do. Not going to stop until it's done.
So here's the deal. Post-merge, Corey came to me and told me he had a confession to make. I already knew what that confession would be because Logan had already shared that with me. But I played it off like I was hearing it for the very first time. So Corey proceeds to tell me that he was gunning for me and he was ready to vote me out first post-merge. And the reason why was because me and Mikey were getting too close and he was actually feeling a little jealous. And I'm like, some number one you are, Corey. He actually said, if this is the demise of my game, Denny, then so be it, but I want to be honest with you. Well, Corey, thanks for your honesty. Thanks for being so honest with me. I played it off like it was no big deal. I just said, Corey, it's fine. Thank you for being honest with me. It's no big deal. I'm ready to move forward with you in this game. And I tucked that information away in my pocket and kept it there nice and safe in case I needed it in the future. And fast forward, here we are. I'm pulling it out and I'm going to use it and light some fire under my ass to take Corey out. Because here's the deal. I woke up this morning and I realized that if Corey gets to the end of this game, he wins hands down. So now I have my work set out for me. I have to go to Carrie, I have to go to Phil, I have to go to Jeremy, and I have to go to Rob, and I have to get them all on board.
Since right before the merge, I've had really bad feelings about Corey. And once the merge hit, I was hinting at Ian and Morgan that I don't think that we can trust Corey. I think he's working with Frank, Logan, all of those people. And they kept telling me, no, he's good, he's with us. Now, Ian and Morgan are gone. And Corey is working with TRHS. Surprise, surprise. Now, me, Rob, and Phil, it looks like are on the bottom. I'm still in a good place with Rob. The two of us, we have to work with Philip. We have to do something. We have to find a way to make it through another round. I have to try and talk to these TRHS people to see what I can do. But it's going to be hard. Frank and Logan, I have not spoken with either of them one-on-one since the beginning of this game. I don't trust them at all. Corey, I'm not even going to try with Corey. Carrie, we haven't talked much since the merge started. And I'm not sure where her head is at in this game. Then there's Denny. Denny is someone who I have wanted to work with since the beginning of this game, but haven't had the chance yet because Ian and Morgan did not want to work with Denny. And so she's asked Ian, Morgan, and myself to work with her twice, and that didn't happen. So I don't know if that bridge is salvageable or not. But I have to reach out to these people and see what I can do. It's time to get to work. And my game is now in the hands of TRHS people. What does this world come to?
Shit in this game gets juicier by the second. I just got off the phone with Carrie and now my wheels are spinning. But rewind to earlier today when I spoke to Carrie and I asked her if she's ready to make a big move in this game. And she said yes. That is until I told her it's time to take Corey out. She got a little emotional and I was like, look, girl, everyone in the game is saying that you're playing Corey's game, just like they said I was playing Mikey's game. What better move to make right now than to band together, take out the biggest threat in this game along with his idol? And she said yes. So fast forward to moments ago when Carrie called me and told me that Corey has developed this master plan to take Logan out of the game. And he wanted me to believe that it was actually Carrie's idea. I would not believe that for a second. So this actually works in my favor because I do want to keep this vote from Logan and Frank. I know they're going to be pissed at me afterwards, but having this information is super beneficial because now I can let them know, hey, look guys, Corey was gunning for Logan. That's why we had to take him out. They don't need to know that I already had this plan going before I knew that information.
Corey Conway decided to stab me in the back, toss me, kick me to the curb like a used trash can, and put me in the worst spot I could have been in the game. Turns out, everything that we planned, everything that we talked about, any alliances that we had with the specialists, as in Morgan and Jeremy, potentially Phil, was out the window. He was playing us, he was stringing us along. He stabbed me in the back. And I'm pissed off. I'm extremely pissed off. I berated him. I told him what he did wasn't fair to me. We connected on a much deeper level than this game. And everything that I ever said to him in this entire game passed on to Frank Goodpaster, the biggest threat in this game. Corey is extremely misguided in his judgment. He thinks that he wants to go to the end against Frank because he thinks he would beat Frank. I don't think he would. I think Frank would murder him at a final tribal council. He's a much better social player. Much better. And strategic, for that matter. He's pretty much controlling Corey. Whatever Corey says goes.
I'm the one who's always taking the heat from people's heartbreak in this game. Means that I'm doing my job well, but it also means that I'm hurting people along the way. But I'm also hearing that Logan is the one who's consistently calling people after blindsides and being this comforting voice. I also know that Logan is potentially going to plot against me because Frank slipped up the other day. We were talking about the Final Four deal that we have with Denny and Logan, and he said to me that the one person who has the potential to maybe try and get you out at 5 would be Logan. But you'll have your idol, so you'll be all right. Well, right now we're planning on going after Jeremy, but the problem is that we think Phil has a hidden immunity idol. Again. If he plays it on Jeremy, Frank told me, well, you play the idol on me because that's where the votes are going. Supposedly. So then I wouldn't have my idol to protect myself against Logan, which makes me wonder whether Frank is down to do it at Final 5. So Logan needs to go. Now, Carrie talked to me tonight, and she admitted to me that she wants Frank out of this game. She wants Frank out, and that Denny apparently wants him out too. And despite his heartbreak, Rob would be willing to get on board with a move against Frank. All they'd have to do is put their votes on top of Phil and Jeremy's, and Frank would go home if I don't play the idol for him. So, I'm going to get the girls together tomorrow. And I'm going to lay out all the reasons why Logan is a threat. That I think he is after me, but also he is a way bigger challenge threat than Frank is. Frank is beaten up physically. Logan needs to go because it also disempowers Frank. There's no love lost between Frank and Phil. There's no way he's going to run to Jeremy and Phil after this. Frank will be completely disempowered in this game. We get to the Final 5 with Frank. We drag him along. And then we continue going. We go after Jeremy and Phil still. We get those two out, and we're at the Final 5. I have another trick up my sleeve later on. But after we get rid of Logan, this becomes my game.
We're like 10 minutes away from Tribal Council, and I feel like this plan might actually work. I reached out to Phil earlier tonight, and I said, Phil, who's the biggest threat in this game? And he told me Corey. And the reason I did that was because I knew he was going to throw Corey's name out there, and I wanted Phil to think that it was partly his idea. So, Phil, he's on board. Check. Next, I went to Jeremy, and I asked Jeremy the same thing. And I reiterated to Jeremy how much I actually want to work with him in this game. And he said, anyone but me.
I have pretty much been preparing that I'm going to be the next to go, as I am the only true specialist that is not safe tonight. And then today, get a message from Denny asking if we could kind of chat after I get off work. And lo and behold, she's ready to make a move against Corey and Frank. Now, I'm down for it. I will do pretty much anything at this point. But the last time I put my trust in a TRHS, they blindsided me, took out Morgan. I'm going to have to do it again for this vote, and hopefully I am not the one with the torch being stuffed tonight.
So Jeremy, check. In the meantime, Carrie starts messaging me telling me she can't do it, she can't vote Corey out, she doesn't feel good about it, and I could feel all of my hard work and plans crumbling down around me. So Corey starts a video chat with me and Carrie and Rob, and I haven't chatted with Rob yet. And Corey's going on and on and on about how it needs to be Logan, he has to go, he's a huge threat. And the call just kept going, and I'm like, how am I going to talk to Rob? So I had to send Rob a message and say, Rob, are you with me? And he said 100. Why? Is this not the plan? And I said, it's not the plan. We're actually voting Corey out. And he said he was on board.
And if she wants to vote out Corey, I will 120% get my poetic justice. Even if she's playing, I will write Corey's name down. I'm furious with him. I don't even know what to say to him. I don't even want to look at him. I don't want to talk to him.
So Rob, check. Then I went back to Carrie and I was like, Carrie, Rob is in. And she's like, what do you mean? And I said, he's putting Corey's name down. And what I did in that moment was essentially force Carrie's hand.
The vote tonight is going to be the most difficult vote I'll have to do in this whole thing. I've been talking to Denny, and we both think that it's time for Corey to go. Corey's been my number one since the beginning. He was the first person I connected with when we were pre-gaming. We've been together this whole time. He's been the person that I wanted to see myself sitting with at the final two. And we've actually become really good friends through this whole thing. You know, gameplay aside, he's been somebody that I've enjoyed talking to and getting to know on a personal level. And so it's incredibly hard for me to do, but it doesn't even matter, like, whether I vote Corey or not. They have the numbers. So I just have to go along with it. And everyone tells me that I need a move for my resume, that I'll be respected if I get Corey out because he's such a big threat in this game. And I think he knows it. I've told him. So this is going to be a really hard vote.
I knew that she really didn't want to vote Corey, but with everyone else on board, she really has no choice. So if all goes as planned, Corey will be going out tonight. And I told them, be careful during tribal, play it off, whatever Lauren asks you, don't give anything away. So fingers crossed.
Frank.
Of course, me first again. Go on.
Last tribal council resulted in another blindside. You decided to use your steal of vote advantage. What was your thought process behind stealing Phil's vote?
I wanted Philip to play that idol if he had it, and I figured that would get him to take that step. Plus, the people that I was working with on that last vote, it was a rocky foundation, so I felt just having that extra vote in there with us kind of helped us get a firm foundation, because I didn't know, I needed at least, if one person defected and really wasn't working with us, we still had that vote. So it was a trust building vote, plus I wanted to get that seal vote out of my hands because I feel like it was causing me to be a bigger target than I should be. That was my thought process behind all of this.
And so, Phil, on the flip side, once Frank stole your vote, what was going through your mind?
It was me or Morgan, and what do I do? And ultimately, I had to save my own skin because it was too big a risk. I was like, I had to do it, but I didn't know how it was going to turn out, and I really wanted to stay around. I wasn't ready to go yet.
So you did contemplate playing the idol on Morgan?
Yes, I did.
Logan.
What's up?
Let's talk about the challenge a little bit.
Can we not?
No, we can talk about the challenge. I'm all good with that.
What about it, Lauren? What do you want to know?
No one hides. No one can hide. All right. Once the challenge was explained, did you think it would be a challenge that you were going to be a strong contender in?
I'm pretty confident that I can be a strong contender in almost any challenge. I was feeling good for the first couple rounds, and then I lost my momentum when I forgot to pick up all my cards, and I shorted myself on one, and then I just started sucking, so... It is what it is. What can I say?
Denny, in the challenge, there were many of you that were close to winning. Do you think there were specific strategies that people could have utilized to give them a leg up in the challenge?
I know for me, like, I started standing up and I did that for 2 rounds and it wasn't working. And I looked around at other people. I saw that they were kneeling. I thought Rob was going to win that challenge. Phil won it when he needed to win it. So strategies, I mean, I don't know. I looked around to see what other people were doing who were progressing in the challenge, and I came close.
Do you think if you would have started with that strategy to begin with, you might have won?
I mean, I probably would have been down to 1 cup.
He'll definitely won it when he needed to.
Jeremy, what's the dynamic of the tribe like right now?
Well, after Morgan got brutally blindsided, it turns out that me, Phil, and Rob are on the bottom, and then you have the 5 majority. And yeah, it was pretty uncomfortable with the Zoom call after the challenge, because I definitely felt betrayed. I'm not sure about the other 2, but it was a hard pill to swallow, but I knew it's all gameplay. Big moves are going to be made to build people's resumes, and the game kind of moves forward. Myself, I don't feel safe tonight because after the last 7 votes that have been all specialists, and with Phil having immunity, it does not look good for me whatsoever.
So if you feel that you're someone on the bottom, what have you done to try and find a crack?
So I took a look at the majority 5 that voted for Morgan, and I looked to my left and I saw Frank and Logan, who the 3 of us have not really talked much strategy at all and basically have had trust issues with each other. Then I looked to my right and I saw Corey, who backstabbed me, pushed me off the cliff, all while drinking a tall glass of milk. No offense, Corey.
Always.
And then I saw Denny, and she wanted me to vote with her 2 times now, and I kind of burned that bridge both times. Then there's Carrie, who is, she's TRHS, and all those 5 are pretty much TRHS. Frank is on the specialist cast, but we all know that he's TRHS, so.
I can TRHS all day.
Yeah. It's very hard to find a crack, and I don't think that they were going to be flipping on each other anytime soon. Not until the 3 of us are gone.
I don't think Corey really stabbed you in the back. I mean, he redirected the knife that you guys were going to put in my back. He redirected that, but I don't think he did anything.
Don't we have to be on your side?
No, because
don't we have to be on your side to stab you in the back?
Right, and I was never on that side.
I was with Dakota. Dakota was.
I would say
Guys,
that seeing as Morgan, Jeremy, Ian, and all of us voted together every single tribal council the same way, I would say that we were on the same side. So the fact that they were aiming the vote at Frank, I would say they had the knife pointed at us.
Let me set it straight. Rob came to me a couple weeks ago, and he told me that he was building a bond with Morgan, and I told Frank and Logan, who are my allies, all the way back then. And I was pulled into an alliance of 5 with Ian and Morgan, Rob, and Jeremy at the time, and I basically have been playing my role in that alliance the entire time with the intended goal of getting out the person that we needed to get out whenever the time came.
Strike first.
So this has been a few weeks in the making. So I didn't backstab you, I was playing a role.
And I think you wouldn't be in a bad spot right now if Phil wasn't still in the game. But it's apparent that you and Phil are going to be working together. So it wouldn't be smart for people to want to work with you because that involves Phil. Right now, if everyone's playing the game smart, Philip should be public enemy number 1 every single moment of this game because
I thought that was your role, Frank.
Well, I'm not the one I can't pull these immunities clues. You are a genius, man. Your brain is something special. It's kind of like when you watch season 1 and you watch how Lauren works with those things. Like, it's the special brain, and I only mean that as a compliment. I have a loud mouth. I'm boisterous, but I do not have the ability to pull those hidden immunity out like you do. Like
I only got 2. There's been how many idols?
You have
floating
50%.
Around? How many? I haven't got, and how many advantages floating around?
How long are they out of your pocket? Once you play them, how long does it take you to get them back out? Hours after the clue comes out.
You're the biggest threat, buddy. You have an incredible brain.
But you are the biggest threat.
You are, Phil. It's true. I mean, it's a compliment.
I'm the idol guy. That's fine.
The moves that I've made have been with the people that I've been playing the game. And I've changed a couple times, but not because of a plan that I had. It was because people were coming after me, and I had to pivot.
Well, that's why my plan right now is to just keep this right here.
And I think
and I wish you luck.
Oh, yeah. I do.
I only need a few more. What? 4 more? Maybe 5? I don't know. Are we doing final 2 on?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I literally thought she was frozen for a second.
Good night. Go ahead.
Phil, do you think it's possible for you to go on an immunity idol run?
It's possible. I mean, I have to try, right? You know what else is there for me to do? I realized after the last tribal, I'm like Frank said, I'm public enemy number 1. I'm their biggest threat right now, so that's fine.
Carrie, since we saw another idol get played at the last tribal council, what's the talk about a new one being potentially out there?
Well, Phil probably has it.
That's what
Yeah, we're sure he has it.
Yeah, well, the thing was, there was a message that was sent out yesterday, and everybody's been trying to figure it out and send in their answers, and nobody's getting anything back.
So we think that Phil probably got it within a couple hours, and we're all just shooting shots in the dark at this point.
I didn't get anything back either.
Look at that face. You can read all over that face.
I think Ryan was just drunk.
He's so good at it. Like, it's terrifying.
There were a lot of typos in that, so I don't know. Could be
I'm
drunk, Ryan.
sure there was something. And then he says at the end, he's like, just correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on now.
Yeah, wasted. I hope you didn't drive home, Ryan.
He's not even paying attention.
They're just enjoying the show,
just
honestly.
enjoying right now.
They're just letting us go on.
It's a pretty live tribal.
Realistically, they're probably just watching football.
Exactly.
I would never.
That's a lie.
Rob,
Yo.
do you expect every tribal from here on out to be unpredictable since we have seen so many idols and advantages played so recently?
I don't know. I'd say the next few are going to be pretty damn predictable. You were here last tribal, right? So you saw the way things went down. And just to reiterate what Jeremy said, It doesn't seem like there's a crack. I've tried.
Have you?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
Tried with not us. But
I mean,
we're not
I
going
haven't
to
gotten a
try
message from Rob in a couple of days, even before we didn't include him on a vote.
Yeah,
I haven't
well,
talked to Jeremy in a couple of weeks, and Phil stopped messaging me a couple days ago too. So I've kind of been left in the dark with those three. So them saying they've tried to find cracks, I don't know if you've explored all your options.
I figured people
the
would
fact
want to
of
talk
fact,
to me, but
it was hard because we left Rob out of the vote, and I didn't want to, but as a group consensus, we decided to because we knew how tight he was with Morgan. And after we all got on a tribe together, even the ones that were on the other side of the vote, everybody got together on the Zoom, and we were talking, and eventually got down to just what it was, me, Denny, and Rob. And then Denny could tell that there was some tension in the air, and she was like, "Do you guys want me to just leave you some time alone?" It was rough because I didn't like leaving him out of the vote, but you know, you have to do what you have to do.
And I'm sure that they believe there were cracks. I know they probably tried to work into those cracks. They're trying. Philip can't go home tonight, so I know their play is to come at me again, and there's a chance I go home tonight.
Frank, do you think an idol could be played tonight again?
100%. I think Philip's got it, and he's just got to make a decision whether he wants to keep it for himself or try to save someone and change the tempo of the game. But I really think even if I go home tonight, I don't think it affects the outcome of the people that I'm working with right now.
So, Corey.
Yes.
As the numbers continue to dwindle in this game, does it get tougher to vote people out?
I would say that at this point, it doesn't matter who you're voting against. We all know these people at this point. So it does become difficult. I mean, I know Jeremy, and I like Jeremy a lot. I like Morgan. I love getting to know every single person that I was on that Dakota tribe with. But we're here to play a game, and it becomes increasingly difficult with each vote. Yes. Sure.
Carrie, what's the toughest part about playing this game?
I think not knowing who you can trust. And I think it's exactly what Corey said, is that, you know, we've built relationships with people, and there are people that we trust in the game and outside the game. And just knowing, you know, at one point, somebody is going to be writing your name down, someone who has maybe promised you that they wouldn't. I mean, I would say that's definitely the hardest part of the game.
And lack of sleep is there too.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been ever since the merge. It's really been a lot.
It's hard to balance your life in the game. It's so draining.
In some ways, I feel like it's even more difficult than Real Survivor. Not in terms of physically on your body, the way it is out in the wilderness.
Speak for yourself, Corey.
I just know that it's really hard to juggle so much in this game, and then your real life as well.
Yeah. Like, I want to take a moment to apologize to my wife because I haven't spent enough time with her. Probably see you soon.
I'd say there's pros and cons to the two games, but this one, there is definitely an element to it that is not in Real Survivor, which is you don't get a break from the game, even because you just have your real life going. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Miss my family.
Yeah. And you're right there for your family to see you. They can see you, and you're not interacting with them. If you're on the island, you're out there to win on $1 million. So it's really hard.
No,
and
it's
they're seeing an element of you. They're seeing an element of you that is not the real you, like because you're playing a game.
Yeah.
So your family is seeing you play a game, and they're not, it's not who you really are. Parts of it, but
it's like I'm here, but I'm not really present with them.
Yeah.
I've heard. I didn't know you had that in you at least a dozen times already.
Yeah.
Was that every time you found an idol, or?
Yes. 12.
Does anyone else have anything else they want to add to tonight?
Nope.
All right. It is time to vote.
I refuse to go to the end with the person who's going to win the game. And my vote is for my number one in the game, Corey. Sorry, Corey, I love you.
Logan, you're the biggest threat to me in this game. Praying that the others do what they're supposed to do.
I got Jeremy. There's no hard feelings. It just couldn't be filmed tonight, unfortunately.
Karma is a bitch.
I'm gonna get the votes. If anyone has a hidden new idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so. All right. Once votes are read, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to leave the Zoom call immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote, Jeremy. Logan. That's one vote, Jeremy. One vote, Logan. Jeremy. That's two votes, Jeremy. One vote, Logan. Corey. That's two votes, Jeremy. One vote, Logan. One vote, Corey. Corey. That's two votes, Corey. Two votes, Jeremy. Corey. That's three votes, Corey. Two votes, Jeremy. Thirteenth person vote as survivor, TRHS versus specialist, and a fourth member of our jury, Corey. Corey. Travis.
Good game, Corey. Good game.
Love you.
Dang, bro.
It's like things weren't so black and white. TRHS member goes home. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Okay. Well, I was blindsided tonight. Had an idol on my chest. Pulled out my TRHS colors. I definitely think that this was Denny's play on her, with her, because only Denny could have been the one to get Phil and Jeremy to vote against me as well. This was the point in the game where I was willing to put strategic allies to the side, get together with my friends, Rob, Carrie, and Denny, and move forward with the people that I genuinely care about. Little did I know that my three friends all had knives ready to just stick them in there. So, it's a tough pill to swallow. I'm not bitter. It was a great move. I think that if we would have gotten through this round tonight and had taken out Logan, I do believe that this was my game to lose at that point. So this was the prime opportunity to take me out, and I know that idol was definitely part of it.